This episode is about early mistakes that I made in my cybersecurity career. You cannot know everything at once. Your progress is going to show, and sometimes it shows from some of the mistakes you made. We are made differently, we have different strengths, we have different weaknesses. Your progress will actually help you to achieve perfection. Hello cyber friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to this series, Journey to Cybersecurity series. I hope you've been learning a lot and I hope you've been executing a lot. Talking about execution, this episode is about early mistakes that I made in my cybersecurity career. That is, while I was starting out, some of the mistakes that I made and what I later realized that helped me right out of those mistakes, and some of the tips I have for you based on my experiences and some of those mistakes that I made in the past. All right. So, of course, cybersecurity is very wide and we know how overwhelming it can be. And when you're starting out, it is very sure that you're going to be making a few mistakes. Your progress is going to show, and sometimes it shows from some of the mistakes you've made, and the lessons you are learning from those mistakes. Right. For me, one of my biggest mistakes was comparing my internal struggles with other people's external confidence. Right. The heat of some of the things I was feeling then, I was comparing it with some other people's progress that I was seeing online. Like the areas they were confident were the areas I was still trying to struggle to find my balance. And I was comparing myself to them. That was a huge mistake on my part. And I later realized that in this industry, there are people who have more deeper knowledge in one area than others. And there are some people who they enjoy talking than acting. Like they enjoy talking than acting. There are some people that they enjoy acting than talking, meaning they will talk more. Some people will talk more and act less. Like they want to share their idea, they want to communicate a lot before they start doing. While some people, they don't want to communicate at all. They just want to do. We have people like that they are always behind the scene. They are the ones, they are techie ones, tech savvy. They don't want to talk to anybody. They just want to, be on the system hacking. They just want to be on the system monitoring the firewalls and all of that. They don't want to talk to anybody. So you see that we are different in our own ways. And it is not nice to compare yourself to other people because we are made differently. We have different strengths. We have different weaknesses. So that was one of my biggest mistakes, comparing my internal struggle with other people's confidence. That is, where other people are confident and I'm still trying to find my balance, I was comparing myself with them. And I realized that that wasn't wise enough. All right. So number one mistake, apart from that one that I say is the biggest, number one mistake that I made is trying to know everything. In cybersecurity, you cannot know everything at once. You can know something about everything, but you cannot know everything. Like, for instance, you can't know everything about networking. It's not possible. Networking is wide. As I've said in past videos or past episodes, it's a field on its own. So you can't know everything about it. You have to do some things that you know that you need for you to progress in your career. So I was trying to know everything. I could remember when I started out, I was like consuming a lot. If you go and check my LinkedIn, you will see a lot of certificate of completions. I was doing a lot, but it got to a point that I had to sit down and then restructure and then filter those things that I was learning. And I see that there are a lot of things that I don't need as at that point, and I had to filter them out. So trying to know everything is one of the mistakes that I made. In cybersecurity, you don't know everything. Get to know based on your progression and based on the requirements of your stage or your progress. All right. And also, I also always think that when I do not have answers, right, I have to shut up or I don't have to speak. Most of the time, you won't have answers to everything. In fact, cybersecurity is not about having all the answers to all of the questions or to all of the challenges that you're faced with. It is about asking the right questions. All right. So in cybersecurity, the right questions gets you the right answer or helps you to get the right answer or helps you to get to the right answer. You might not have answers to everything, but you can actually definitely ask questions. And I also learned that let me confirm is a very, very valid response in times that you are uncertain about something. You don't have to say it headlong, and then say rubbish. You can tell them, not in interviews. I'm talking about when it comes to jobs, tasks, right? Maybe there's something you need to do and then they're asking about that thing. Now you have not really done it. You're still doing your research. You don't have to say something. Just let them know. You will confirm. Is a very valid answer. And so that's my number one mistake. Number two is over preparing before execution, right? Generally, for me, I over prepare a lot, even before cybersecurity. I over prepare a lot. I am somebody that always think that my preparation is not enough, or I'm not ready to do that thing, even though my preparation to that extent has shown that I'm ready to actually take on the task, right? And in cybersecurity, there are certain times that you need to make decisions as fast as possible, that you won't have the time to take elongated preparation or time to like think about that thing a lot or take a lot of time to think about it. In security, when there are incidents, where there are breaches, you have to like be very proactive. You have to be very fast about making your decisions and all of that. So you need to learn how to, while you prepare, you also execute. Not just spend all of your time on preparing until things have gotten out of hand, and then there's no remedy for you because you're not executing. Progress matters a lot. Perfection is not the goal. In cybersecurity, progress is way better because your progress will actually help you to achieve perfection. Not like pursuing perfection and then you now take longer time pursuing that perfection and then you are not able to execute until things get out of hand. Because in cybersecurity, we are dealing with incidents, we are dealing with events, and those things happens, and then those events need response as quick as soon as possible. So you don't want to take a lot of time trying to think about, oh, do we contain this incident or not? It's not a question you should be asking. The way to approach it is, what do we do to contain this? How do we go about it? Not do we, and then you're trying to think about it. No. It doesn't work that way. All right. So over preparing is one of the mistakes I made, and it's not a good thing. As you're progressing, you're executing so that you are moving towards perfection as you move on in your career. The third mistake I made earlier in my career was thinking that technical depth equals value. That's not true. I normally think that if I'm not the most technical person in the room, I'm not adding value. And that is not true. Cybersecurity is not all about being a technical person or technical know-how. Of course, you have to have foundational knowledge of the technical aspect of cybersecurity, but we also have the non-technical aspect, which is the GRC aspect of cybersecurity that is not so technical. All right, you don't have to be a techie person to be able to actually go in that direction. And one thing I also learned and also realized later is that translating technical depths or translating technical issues into business impact is very, very, very valuable. So it means that you might not be the one implementing those technical concepts, but you are the one translating it into business impact to help stakeholders understand these technical concepts and then be able to help them make better decisions within the organization. You see now. So I also learned that, and it has been working for me, that communication is also a very good and excellent cybersecurity skill. That is the ability to articulate technical concepts in order for non-technical people to be able to understand, and your ability to actually educate people on security context for them to be able to protect themselves and protect organizations. So never think that because maybe you're not a techie or you do not have a technical background, you are not fit in this industry. You are fit, and do not let that hold you back. If you have any question, right, the comment section is open. You can drop your question there. The question might not be about this episode. It might be general questions that you want me to answer. I can create a video just to answer that question. That is why this series is created. Drop your question in the comment section. I will be in the comment section waiting for you to answer your questions. Or if I would need to create a video, I'll just do that. And also, do not forget to like, share with your friends. Thank you. Bye.